Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Watershed. At this time, I am going to turn the floor over to somebody you actually want to hear from, one of our 5th grade students, Odenayo. Odenayo?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Odenayo Omani, and I'm happy to share my experiences at Watershed Public Charter School. I've been a part of this great school since I was in 1st grade, and it's been fun so far. I am a member of the National Elementary Honor Society and Green Team. The Green Team is an environmental group that encourages students to be environmentally friendly. From the moment I started at Watershed, I've always felt welcomed and supported by my teachers and from my friends. The environment here is warm and inviting. One of the best things about Watershed is the hands-on learning. Instead of just reading from textbooks, we get to go outside every day and participate in interactive activities that make learning fun. Outdoors become our classroom, and learning outside is my favorite part of school. Being a member of the National Elementary Honor Society and the Green Team has also been incredibly rewarding. Through these groups, I've had the chance to give back to our community and make a positive impact on the environment. Whether it's organizing eco-friendly initiatives or planning events to support our school, these experiences have taught me the value of teamwork, leadership, and service. The most significant impact Watershed has had on me is its boost it's given to my confidence. Thanks to the support of my teachers and the opportunities to be myself, I've become more confident in myself. In conclusion, my experiences here at Watershed have been amazing, and I'm grateful for the friendships I've made, the knowledge I've gained, and the experiences that have shaped me into the person I am today. Thank you for allowing me to share some of my experiences with you. I hope you all enjoy your time at Watershed as much as I do. Now I have the pleasure of introducing Watershed's principal, Miss Whitney.
Please, another round of applause for Odenayo. He is an amazing Watershed turtle. Good morning, everyone. Like Odenayo said, I am Lori Whitney, and I am the very proud principal of Watershed Public Charter School, a 2023 Renew America's Schools Grant awardee. On behalf of Watershed students and staff and the Watershed Board of Directors, I welcome you to our school. A special welcome to Deputy Secretary Turk, Superintendent Rogers, Councilman Patoka, Councilman Jones, Mr. Crower, thank you so much for being here. And for all of our community, representatives from St. Gabriel's Climate Access Fund, we are so glad that you were able to gather here to celebrate the opportunities that have been provided to Baltimore County students because of the partnership between Watershed and the Board of Education of Baltimore County. It is because of this partnership of innovation and active collaboration that I am able to stand in front of you and share that our Renew America's Schools grant is through the awards negotiation phase and moving into the project management phase. This is great news because our community is ready to be in a school building which matches the mission and vision of Watershed, a building which mirrors the environmental activism that is needed to protect our future on this planet. This grant will be used to upgrade electrical, install new energy-efficient doors, move from a boiler system to a highly efficient HVAC system, and provide solar panels which will contribute energy to the Climate Access Fund, whose sole mission is to reduce the energy burden of low-income households through access to discounted clean energy. When Watershed opened its doors in 2019, the goal was to provide outdoor environmental learning to as many students in Baltimore County as possible. Currently, Watershed serves over 315 students from 20 different Baltimore County zip codes, and we continue to grow each year with 7th grade joining us next year and 8th grade the year after. Using environmental literacy and next-generation science standards, Watershed continually creates an interconnected learning environment where hands-on exploration and creative expression foster the learning process. When I learned that we were applying for this grant, I could only think that our students deserve to have a building which matches their activism, their learning, their projects. With the Renew America's Schools grant, we will be able to give them what they deserve. So while I welcome you all, I would be remiss if I did not thank you as well. To Dr. Rogers and the Baltimore County Board of Education, thank you for believing in the mission and vision of Watershed with our 5-year renewal contract. To the yeah, right? Okay. To the Department of Energy, Deputy Secretary Turk, and the entire Department of Energy Schools and Nonprofits team, Andrea, Dana, Annabelle, Beth, Madison, your support has been invaluable through this process. We cannot wait to welcome you back to show you how the funds have been used. And thank you, a special thank you, to Christina Sawyer, who took over the managing of the grant in December, and to Dr. Doug Elmendorf and his team for their continued support through this process. And finally, thank you to all of our families and students who come to Watershed each and every day. You are the reason we are here. Your trust, support, and collaboration mean the world to us. Thank you for choosing Watershed as your learning experience. And now, I have the pleasure of introducing Deputy Secretary of the U.S. Department of Energy, the Honorable David M. Turk.
Well, let me just start by saying what an absolute pleasure it is to be with you all. I want to start by thanking our principal. Thank you, Lori, for welcoming us, and especially to the students. Thank you guys for having us all here during your school day. We got to see the chickens. We got to see folks playing outside. We got to see the rain garden and so much more. And what a special place. So I hope you appreciate what you've got here, and thanks for all the superintendent, the principal, everybody who makes this possible as well. Let me give a special shout out to our Odenayo for your incredible speech. I wish I could speak like that now. And you've got quite a few years here in school, and boy, what a bright future you have. And thank you for welcoming all of us in with such an amazing speech. So thank you for that. Let me also give a special thanks to my boss, President Biden. The kind of things we're doing here, the funding we've made available to this school and schools across the country, doesn't just happen. It happens because we have leadership. We have leadership in our president. We have senators. We have representatives. We had what is going to go down in the history books, I think, as an unprecedented series of legislation that was passed by the previous Congress. The funding that we're talking about here comes from something called the Bipartisan Infrastructure Legislation. There was also the Inflation Reduction Act that was passed. This is historic funding. This is unprecedented funding. It doesn't just happen by accident. It happens because good people run for office. We've got great examples of this in our county council chair and other members on the council who serve and run for public office. That's not the easiest thing to do. I'm sure you all get, I don't know what your ratio of complaints to praise is, but probably not super great. Thanks to you guys for running. We've got a representative from Senator Van Hollen's office who's such a phenomenal leadership. But the kind of funding that we're talking about here doesn't just happen by accident. It happens because good people run for office. They make a difference. They pass legislation that allows us to have the opportunity to put out funding. I'm going to start with the bottom line up front in terms of an announcement, a really exciting announcement that we're making today. We are opening up a second tranche of funding for the kind of funding that I'll talk about here in a minute coming to this school. $180 million worth in this second tranche of funding. That is a big, big deal. We can applaud that. That's great. And this is going to help schools all across our country. We're talking HVAC systems, we're talking building envelope, lighting projects, EV charging stations, rooftop solar, and so much, much more. This is our second tranche of funding. We had a first tranche of funding around the same amount. And from that, this is the Renew America's Schools grant, investing in over 90 facilities and schools, benefiting 74,000 students all across our country and 5,000 teachers. So that's a big deal in the first tranche. We're excited to have a second tranche, but I also want to underscore the need for this kind of funding. So I mentioned that we're talking about a first tranche of $180 million, another $180 million going to schools all across the country. For our first tranche of funding, when we put out the notice for applications, we actually received $5.5 billion of interest in that. That is a lot of money. That is a lot of interest for this kind of funding. We didn't have as much funding as we would want to have. Again, talk to your congressmen, talk to your senators. Democracy has consequences in terms of having additional funding available. We were able to give funding to 90 different schools across the country. We had over 1,000 that requested the funding. So that just gives you a sense of the need out there for this kind of funding to help make sure our schools are what they should be going forward. So a number of us just completed a tour. What a phenomenal tour. I think the chickens were the highlight, but we also got to learn about what the funding going in the first tranche to Watershed is going for. And I have to say, it's not just exciting to be able to visit with you all and see what this money is going to do here in the school and better the lives of the students first and foremost, but the teachers and the whole community here. It's exciting to see that as a U.S. Deputy Secretary of Energy, but it's even more exciting to see it, I got to say, as a parent. My kids are a little bit older now. My youngest is a freshman in high school. My oldest is a freshman in college. Tough to see your kid go away to college, although she still calls. At least the first year, she's still calling pretty frequently. But it's just so exciting to see what's happening here and what will happen here as a parent. As exciting as it is to see it from a Department of Energy perspective, to just see it as a parent. And just to see simple changes, funding that allows changes to happen to make folks' lives better. Just looking at simple changes like the boiler room and the ventilation system, right? There's no reason in our country we need to have classrooms that are hotter than they should be or colder than they should be, or both things in different parts of the year, right? Like, kids should have an environment where they can focus on learning, focus on education. They don't have to worry about being too cold or too hot in their rooms. We need to make sure that we've got air quality, indoor air quality and external air quality. Everyone should have the benefit, especially for those who have asthma or have sensitivities, right? We need to make sure that we have schools, again, that allow kids to focus on the learning part of the equation. We also need to save money as much as we can so that the money goes to education, right? It goes to books and chickens and other kinds of things that are useful as kids are learning about life going forward. Right now, public schools alone in our country, and that's just public schools, spend more than $8 billion on energy costs on an annual basis. That's an awful lot of money. In fact, that's more money than their annual budgets for computers and books, right? So the more money we can save, the more investments we can make upfront to save money each year, the more money that goes to books, that goes to computers, that goes to teachers' salaries, all the kinds of things that we want to spend more and more money on. So what we saw here in Watershed is just simple things. It's common sense things. It's phenomenal to be able to be supporting this not only in Watershed but schools all across the country. Things like sensors, right, to measure how much daylight is reaching the classrooms. If we don't have to have extra lighting because there's enough daylight coming in, that saves us money and provides a better learning environment for the kids. No more wasted energy, no more wasted dollars going forward. And this is why, again, it's so exciting, not just as a U.S. Deputy Secretary of Energy, to be here with you all and to be part of a phenomenal team that's making sure that we're giving this funding out, making sure that we're rewarding those schools who have the best plans going forward. So we want to make classrooms healthier, learning easier. So as a U.S. Deputy Secretary of Energy, today is a great day, but I have to say as a parent, it's an even better day as well. And again, thank you for welcoming us into your community. I'm now going to turn it over to Andrea. Nothing happens at our department unless you have talented folks who decide they want to be part of the department and have public service, not as an elected official, but as part of our team over at DOE. We're lucky to have Andrea and a number of other colleagues who've really sweat the details on this so that we can make this funding go as long as it possibly can, as last, and have the biggest impact that it possibly can. So Andrea's going to describe a little bit more, not only what we're doing here, but again, we've got new tranche of money available. We want to make sure people know about that, schools know about that, so that they can apply and there can be benefits just like what we're having here at Watershed. Andrea, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Deputy Turk, for making such an exciting announcement for us today. We are beyond thrilled to open round 2 of the applications for the Renew America Schools program. The website is live. People are excited. They've been asking really for the last 9 months of when this was going to be open. And it's really been an honor to help set up and stand up this team and program within DOE. This is the first time DOE has ever directly funded local education agencies. So it is an exciting time to be a part of the department. This program is very near and dear to my heart, having worked in a public school district prior to joining DOE and trying to implement the projects that we just saw that we're going to help Watershed do here. And as a parent, my children are a little bit younger. I do have a first grader right now and a 2.5 and a third one on the way. So listening, I hope by the time she's in 5th grade, she has the same experience and could hopefully stand up here and talk about that. What a wonderful opportunity. They were both very interested in where mommy was going this morning. Trying to explain to them. So over the course of the last year, we've heard from school districts across the country regarding how important and impactful this funding is. We've also heard from school districts in which we could improve the application from the last round and overall implementation of the projects. We took that feedback into careful consideration as we launched this new round of applications. So in this round, DOE is implementing something slightly different. It's called a prize to cooperative agreement funding model to streamline the application process and to provide school districts earlier, more targeted support. Like the 2022 Renew America Schools grant, the 2024 Renew America Schools Prize will fund energy efficiency and clean energy infrastructure improvements at K-12 public schools across the country. Being here today at Watershed Public Charter School, a recipient of the 2022-23 funding, is a great example of the impact that we are hoping to have and continue to have with this funding opportunity. It was great to see this morning as we stood outside the community solar that will be up. I will definitely be back when that is installed. I don't live too far away, and excited to see the impact of the HVAC and lighting in particular for the students that are here. Through the new prize structure, we're encouraging local educational agencies to partner to strengthen their applications and ultimately reach as many students, teachers, and staff as possible. With a streamlined application process, this round will include a one-step application submission that is due Thursday, June 13th. And for those truly in the weeds and interested, we have an informational webinar tomorrow, so please register and you can learn a lot more details. The 2024 Renew America Schools Prize consists of 3 phases. This year in phase 1, competitors will build teams and curate lists of at least 10 school facilities that demonstrate compelling need and eligibility for investment. There's more emphasis on leveraging funds as well as encouraging partnerships to support these critical investments. We also want to increase and access and expand the impact as far and wide as possible to help build pathways for increased investment in the K-12 sector. I cannot thank Watershed enough and Baltimore County when we reached out to host an event, and having done a number of these in my career, it is a lot to host people, and they have been absolutely fabulous. So thank you, Watershed. We're excited to work with them on their implementation and to start the application process for the next round. So with that, I'm going to introduce Izzy Patoka, who's the council chairman.
Hello, everybody. It's good to be here. Again, I'm Izzy Patoka, and I'm chairman of the Baltimore County Council. I'm joined here by my colleague, and we're actually in his district, Councilman Julian Jones. So let's give Councilman Jones, an applause. So I'm going to make a confession here today. We are at my favorite school, the Watershed Charter School. It's not in my district. And the reason it's my favorite school is because the way the students think, the way the teachers teach, and it's with making our planet a better place. Because if we don't take care of our planet, there's no aliens out there that are going to take care of it. It's up to us to make sure that we're responsible, and especially for the next generation, that they're responsible adults and they think about the impact of the environment, and they're working to make a better environment for them. And believe it or not, Watershed students, your children at some point and your grandchildren at some point. So it's really great to be here. And I've been here many times, Principal Whitney, and I will say this, that nothing ever surprises me. The only time I was surprised with the Watershed Charter School was the first time I was here. And I said, whoa, this is really a cool school. But then on subsequent visits, it's not surprising that great things happen here in this place. It's really wonderful. It's also great to see my neighbors here, Angelina and Madeline. Where's Angelina and Madeline? Have you guys ever been called up by a council member before? Well, today's your day. We all live in this really beautiful green neighborhood called Sudbrook Park. You guys should visit someday. But I am just delighted, Secretary Turk. We visited the second grade class, and I did some math, Dr. Rogers, and because they were doing their math with tomatoes or tomatoes in rows, and so I started to think about Secretary Turk's remarks, and I did the math in my head, and I thought, wow, 90 successful applicants out of 1,000, and I did the percentages, and that's less than 1%. It's less than 1%. And so there's 99, and when I thought about this, I thought that makes Watershed, in terms of being on the radar screen of our leaders at the top, in the top 1%. So give yourselves a hand for anybody who had a hand in this. And so I'll just conclude by saying, Secretary Turk, I think you and your colleagues will find that the grant award will be well received here. It'll be used in an appropriate way, and these students and these teachers and these facilitators will move the needle forward on the things we're trying to achieve in terms of energy. Thank you all very much, and congratulations to everyone.
And at this time, I'd like to welcome Superintendent Dr. Miriam Rogers to the podium.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us as we see firsthand the power of federal investments in public school facilities here in Baltimore County Public Schools and across the nation. Watershed Public Charter School serves as an incredible model for what can happen when LEAs have an opportunity to use strategic resources and funding to improve energy efficiency, lower costs, and enhance learning environments for students and staff. Deputy Secretary Turk and members of your team, I want to welcome you on behalf of the entire school system and thank you for selecting Watershed as the site to make such an important announcement about the grant program. I also want to recognize several individuals in attendance who are dedicated to the success of not only Watershed Public Charter School, but all of Team BCPS's 110,000 plus students and 20,000 staff members. We are joined this morning by Council Chair Izzy Patoka, County Council Member Julian Jones. We're also joined by a representative from Senator Van Hollen's office. Representative Brad Nauer is here representing our county executive, our Board of Education members, Board of Education Chair, Tiara Booker-Dwyer, Vice Chair, Christina Pumphrey, Board of Education members, and I'll read the names. We have Ms. Tiffany Frimpong, Janie Lichter, Felicia Stileski. We have our Area Advisory Council, Marlena Purcell, who's with us. And we have, of course, cabinet members in Baltimore County Public Schools, including our Chief of Staff, Ms. Mildred Charlie Green, our Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Dee Donato, and we have the Executive Director for this school, Dr. Nishay Bennett. I, too, want to thank Ms. Whitney for all of her hard work and her entire team here. The experience that they provide the students is absolutely incredible, and we are very excited for the 5-year renewal. Ms. Whitney has taught me that usually when you ask someone how their day is, the proper response is peachy, and if it's even better than peachy, you're supposed to say aptly. So today is an aptly day, and thank you for having us here in this aptly day. Deputy Secretary Turk, we are excited to hear the announcement that is open to everyone in addition to Watershed. Having the third oldest set of school buildings and moving into tight fiscal times, anytime there's an opportunity for us to apply to make our schools better places for our students, we are ready to do that. So please expect some applications from Baltimore County Public Schools, and some of our team members will absolutely be on that webinar that you are presenting. We're so proud of the work that Principal Whitney and the entire team is doing to foster student success here and provide an interconnected learning environment, meaningful outdoor experiences that we had an opportunity to go outside and see, whether it was the students in physical education or hearing the band, the bucket band out, a little further across. It definitely is a rigorous learning experience for our students, and we're so proud of you. This is an innovative and passionate team, and it is truly no surprise that Watershed was selected as one of the first recipients of the Renew America School grant. So you definitely deserve another round of applause for that. The grant will enable us to provide an energy-efficient building that will serve students from, as Principal Whitney said, from 20 different Baltimore County zip codes and growing. If this is your first time visiting Watershed, I'd like to share a few highlights of what makes this school so special in addition to what you have seen on the tour. Watershed was named as a 2023 Green Ribbon School by the U.S. Department of Education. The Board of Education recently We are looking forward to the expansion of 6th grade this year and adding 7th grade next year, and the following year, 8th grade. They are a Baltimore County Clean Green 15 awardee, which is providing bat houses, bird houses, hummingbird feeders for the campus. They're also a Cal Ripken STEM Center awardee. The STEM Center helps to foster learning and curiosity and help students to gain knowledge, skills, and confidence in the areas of coding and engineering. Watershed has a staff retention rate of over 90%. Families, stakeholders, and members of the community are deeply involved. They work together, and they're all committed to a community that promotes rigorous academic achievement through hands-on exploration. We're excited that Watershed's Renew America School grant is now moving into the project management phase, and we look forward to sharing frequent updates on the impact of this grant with all of our stakeholders. So thank you again for being here. Congratulations again to Watershed. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. We do have light refreshments in the back, but before we dismiss, we do have a parting gift for you as you come out. But specifically, please take that to Dr. Rogers. Two of our green team members are thanking our honored guests. We appreciate everyone for being here today. Please, again, help yourselves to some refreshments, and we hope you have a marvelous day. Take care, everyone. Apply for the grant. Okay.